Allegedly, Ronald Yandell pulled a weapon on two peace officers at New Folsom.
Welcome back to Broken Bobby's transformation page. In the late 80s, I became involved with drugs and would eventually become part of that lifestyle of trafficking, addiction, and violence. Over the next 20 years, I would be in and out of jail and prison. If you're thinking about trying something or you're dealing with addiction, your life don't need to go down the same path mine did. I hurt a lot of people, both physically and emotionally. These are my stories of how I transformed my life, and you can too.
All right, guys, so let's get into this one. This one is very interesting, and it's right on the edge of, this isn't something I normally talk about, so I'm going to be as gray as I can on certain names and titles. But you can Google the name if you're wondering who this individual is. So let me read to you from the article, and then I'll give you some opinion, and we'll leave it at that. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, drop a comment, share the video. It really helps to get the algorithm going, and hit that notification bell so that anytime I drop a new video or I go live, you will be notified. So this is straight from a CDCR press release. It reads as follows. CDCR officials are investigating the attack of two peace officers as an attempted homicide. Pretty serious allegations, right? On November 22nd, 2024, at approximately 8:20 a.m., incarcerated person Ronald Yandell, 62, allegedly drew an improvised weapon against two officers while he was being escorted back to his cell after a scheduled appointment at the institution's Central Health Building. One of the officers deployed 3 applications of pepper spray. Yandell dropped the improvised weapon, was placed in restraints, and removed from the incident site without further incident. He was evaluated by medical staff who determined he did not sustain injuries. No staff was injured. Okay, so there's the name, Ronald Yandell, right? 62 years old. Been down since 2004. Got a V number, as you can see on the thumbnail. Allegedly, he's somebody in the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitations. I will neither confirm nor deny that, but that's what is alleged. If you want to know which group, it's one of the big 4 groups that I talk about, well, that I don't talk about, but I refer to as the big 4. And you can Google the name, Ronald Yandell, 62. And, you can see what Google and everyone else alleges that this man is. Now, he was in the Pelican Bay Shoe before they did the end of hostilities. And he would be, well, when all the alleged heavy hitters were released from there, a lot of them were sent out to mainline prisons. Well, Mr. Yandell was sent to New Folsom, and he's been in restricted housing, as far as I know, for like 10 years now. There was a big case that went on in Sacramento. Like I said, Google this stuff. Like, there's information out there. I am not going to provide it because it's not any of my business at this point in my life. But, he's been in restricted housing. There was a incident a while back where allegedly there was an officer in the restricted housing unit that assaulted him. He said he lunged at the officer, and the officer took him down. He ended up with like broken ribs and lost some teeth and stuff. So, one might say this was his attempt at revenge. I don't know. I wasn't there. But what I do find rather peculiar, I don't know if I said that right, but what I find interesting is that Okay, so let me explain to you the way ADSEG, restricted housing, the shoe, all of that stuff works. Anytime you are moved, anytime there's any movement of an inmate, typically there's going to be two officers escorting you. They have you, when you come out of the cell, before you come out of the cell, rather, they open up the tray port and you have to put your hands behind your back and put them up to the tray port and they cuff you up. So you are cuffed behind your back with two officers escorting you. Think about that for a minute. Okay. So for, they're alleging that Mr. Yandell somehow got free from the cuffs, which, I'm not saying that's not possible. There are tactics that inmates use, especially when they're locked in confinement for long periods of time, to free themselves from the cuffs. But it just seems odd to me. And I know there's a channel called Solid Behind Blue Eyes. You should go over and check it out. He does lives from time to time. He's a pretty good friend of Mr. Yandell's. And, he speaks on some of the stuff that has been happening. But, what I would think, and, a lot of people may say, but Bobby, he's 62 years old. Well, there's a lot of people that are in that age range that are leaders of these alleged groups in prison. And I'll tell you, the hardest workouts I've ever done were in ADSEG. Like these guys, that were, at the time when I was in ADSEG, I was like late 20s, maybe 30 years old. And like these guys will run circles around most of us. So to say, but he's 62, but he's, if he's been in ADSEG all this time, like it's alleged in the shoe, like those guys, they're training like they're training for a fight. Imagine a professional athlete, UFC fighter, boxer, whatever, the way they do 6-8 week cycle before a fight. Well, a lot of these guys back there have been training for 20 plus years every day religiously. And so you can imagine their stamina, their strength, everything is off the charts. And, a lot of these guys are gangsters. I'm not, like I said, I'm not confirming or denying anything about Mr. Yandell. I don't know Mr. Yandell, never met the man, but there's a lot of stuff that's alleged that he's a part of one of these organizations. So I would think if he were able to get free from the cuffs, produce a weapon with being escorted by two officers, and yet nobody got hurt. Nobody got hurt. It seems a little odd to me, but like I said, I wasn't there. Another thing that seems odd to me is this. I look at these CDCR press releases from time to time. I have never seen a CDCR press release, as they put it, CDCR officials are investigating the attack of two peace officers as attempted homicide. Now, as their article says, and I'll go back to that, he was evaluated by medical staff who determined he did not sustain injuries. No staff was injured. So you're telling me they're investigating it as a double attempted homicide, yet nobody was injured? Did this even happen? It seems like they've been going after Mr. Yandell for a while. There was the big case in Sacramento. Like I said, Google the name. You'll see what they're talking about. I don't know the man, so I'm not going to speak on it. And I don't speak about the alleged organizations that he may or may not be tied to. But it just really seems like they're going after this guy. And, I don't know. I don't know what that is. So, but like I said, check out that channel, Solid Behind Blue Eyes. He's a good friend of Mr. Yandell. and he speaks on the topic from time to time. So if this sort of stuff interests you, then definitely go over and check out that channel. It's a good channel. It's a smaller one, but if you're interested in that sort of stuff, then you'll probably like that channel as well. He goes live a few times a week, and yeah, it's a good channel. I check it out from time to time. But yeah, I don't know where this is going to go. Is it a witch hunt? Probably. Uh, I don't know. But like I said, I've never seen a press release for, uh, you know, somebody being investigated for an attack of two peace officers as attempted homicide, but nobody was injured. The only one that, according to the article, had anything happen to him was Mr. Yandell, who got 3 rounds of pepper spray. I don't know. I can't call it. But yeah, definitely interesting times in the California Department of Corrections and alleged rehabilitations. Definitely not a place you want to be. So, as you guys know, my channel is about sobriety. The thing is, if you end up in prison, you could go to prison for 2 years and end up with a life sentence because it's a crazy place. Definitely not somewhere you want to be. So, if you're new to sobriety, welcome. I believe in you. You can do it. Also, I will be dropping my 4th step in the 12 steps of recovery on Thursday. So be on the lookout for that as well. I don't think I'm going live tonight. I'm trying to get some videos put out so I have some content for the week. But I appreciate everybody's support. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, subscribe if you enjoy this sort of content. Also, hit that like button. Hit the thumbs down if you didn't like it. Either way, it's all good. Share the video. Hit the notification bell so that when I do go live or I drop a new video, you'll be informed. And you can become a member of the channel. Just hit that join button and check out the different options. It's greatly appreciated. So remember, it's just about building a strong foundation around you so that as life comes at you on life's terms, you will be ready and you will have good support to help you navigate the minefields that is life. So I hope everybody's week is off to a great start. And don't look at the mountain, just start climbing.